What's an addiction that people often overlook? News addiction. Outrage is an addiction. Some people seek it out, actively searching for a reason to hate their neighbors just so they can get their hit of dopamine. It feeds news addiction, tribalism, and eventually extremism. It's the source of so much violence, so many divided houses and ruined lives. But we do nothing to curb it. Shopping. I always laughed at the idea of video game addiction. It sounded so overblown until I met a guy who honestly defined it for me. We used to chat and hang out weekly. He quit his job and now just lives at home with his mum, mooching off her to sit in his room and play games for close to 16 hours a day. After refusing to hang out for long enough, I just gave up on him. Work addiction. Most people will say they dislike working extra. But the responsibility you feel towards your co-workers and the purpose work gives your life can make you work more than you should. Source: addicted to work. When my depression is bad, I'd say sleep. It's a free, safe way to escape, but it ultimately feeds the depression, becoming a bad cycle. It doesn't sound that bad, but it's consuming. Edit: some people are confused. So I'll clarify. It's not because of lack of rest, it's not the sleep itself. It's the dreaming, aka escape. A different reality that feels very real and isn't this one. Maybe I'm just not explaining it right, but yeah. Junk food, sugar, soda. I am addicted to these things and wish I can break that habit. Phone addiction. No explanation needed. Social media addiction. Online shopping. Afterpay. Food. Self-harm. I still get withdrawals, and if something scratches my arms in the right way, I need to take a minute to gather myself. Emotional abuse. Trauma bonds are fucking real. Staying up late for no reason than because you're afraid to miss out on anything. Being constantly outraged about news, other people's opinions, beliefs, etc. Then trying to stir up arguments with others. Skin picking, aka dermatillomania. It's so overlooked that our society has glorified it. We have a show called Dr. Pimple Popper. WTF. Caffeine. Self-isolating due to social anxiety. It's not an addiction, I know. But it gets me high knowing how lonely I am, and there is nothing I can do about it. I am not overweight or unattractive. But I love beating myself up about how socially inept I am. I am addicted to feeling sorry about myself, even though I am relatively good looking and in shape. Fuck. Social affirmation. Lots of people spend all their weekends, free time and money on looking cool, successful and/or popular to others. Porn addictions. Doesn't seem blatantly harmful, but over the long term it can really affect you negatively. Edit: I didn't think this would blow up like it did, but I'm glad that so many of you recognize the damage porn does. And I'm super happy to see so many people conquer their addiction. Celebrities. You don't need to defend your favorite Kardashian or Jenner, because they don't know, nor they care for your existence. Tribalism. People become indoctrinated and too engrossed to realize it. People become so addicted they choose to kill over sports, vehicle types, religion, politics, etc. And it's by design. People act less intelligent when they're a part of a group. Mob mentality. Edited because syntax grammar police attacked my autofill. Proofread everything, kids. Anything legal but bad for your longevity. Alcohol, sugar, and sugar derivatives. People really overlook the detrimental effects of sugar. It's the root of incredible varieties of medical conditions. The wine mom personality. Drinking that much wine. Only able to attend your kids' sporting events with a water bottle full of alcohol. Drinking every time there's a social event. Even if you don't feel the need to. Drinking because your kid is crying. Drinking because you don't like your husband. Like honey. You're addicted. Looks or being ideal in general. Thanks to social media killing people's self-esteem and forcing them to chase, in most cases, unreachable goal of being picture perfect. Shopping, or unhealthy accumulation of material goods. Isolation. Being alone can be really addicting and make you lose a lot of friends and such. Control. Addiction to work is not only overlooked but celebrated. You know who loves you working 80-90 hours weeks? Your bosses that rationalize withholding overtime pay. Nobody else thinks giving up your life to a factory or a semi-truck is a flex. Social media addiction. Way too many people want to be influencers and try to maintain a following to feel wanted and important. It's 10 times more cringe when those people pay companies for bot systems to like and follow them. Or they try to leverage their following to avoid having to buy something. Gym addiction. It's the only thing keeping me sane these days. Started 'cause I wanted to gain muscles. Now the thought of taking a prolonged rest is quite dreadful. I think I'm addicted to reading novels one after another. Reading novels all the time like a form of escapism and can't bring myself to stop to be more productive in life. Gossip. If you grew up with a parent that would come home and talk about how exhausting bad work was or annoying coworkers, it's likely you responded with the bad things annoying people from your day. Well, eventually you start to equate gossip, talking bad about people, as a way to form bonds. You may notice or even do it yourself a lot, and I used to that. People will use it as a talking point to introduce themselves or get closer. And eventually they keep going on and on about people. Nail biting. Weed. Everyone's saying the basic ones. But salt is an often overlooked addiction that has negative effects on health in the long run. Validation. Porn. And thirst trap addiction. Going on to social media. Reddit looking for porn and thirst traps. It really makes you think all of this is normal. Sure, some women want to be treated like that. Maybe. But not all of them. Also, social media attention. Like posting stuff that gets a reaction or DM. It's addictive, cause people online seem to give you more attention than those in real life. Nasal spray. There are plenty of other much worse things I could shove up my nose. But still, I can't breathe through my nose without it. And I can't stand that it's like this. Statistics in sports or video games. I don't enjoy playing anymore. I'm after the statistics. Vaping. It is better than cigarettes NGL. Even nicotine addiction is often overlooked in a way. But how much better? I know people that don't look like smokers. But they vape like crazy. They don't see any negative health impacts and think it is not that bad. But I had one friend that after 3 years of vaping like a chimney got rampant lung infections out of nowhere. One in December, which he was like a zombie for the entire month. 3 months later, and now he still hasn't stopped vaping. But now again he has a fever and a hard time breathing and is going to the doctor new week.